There is a fifth dimension.
A dimension of sound.
Damn it, Frank! We tell him to be quiet. I spilled my hot cup of Uranus again.
A dimension of sight.
Hey, Arch. I'm gonna sock you in the puss.
A dimension of mind.
Man, Adams, is that you?
Next stop, the Twilight Zone.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Fifth Dimension Twilight Zone podcast. I am your host, Nick. I am the non-waving host of this podcast because somebody else likes to wave into existence. We're back. Oh my God, he's doing it. He's still doing it. He's still doing it. Love it.
I mean, you know, Nick, you could choose to do like the Queen's wave. That might outdo.
I can do that. I can do this.
Do the Richard Simmons. Woo!
I do. Oh man. So we're back. We're back to talk another Rod Serling podcast, Rod Serling episode, Rod Serling movie, Rod Serling TV, Rod Serling commercial, Rod Serling Garbage Day, Rod Serling everything. It's Rod Serling
the doll, Rod Serling the t-shirt, Rod Serling the breakfast cereal,
Rod Serling the flamethrower, Rod Serling the cigarettes,
Serling the toilet paper.
Exactly.
Rod Serling the toothpaste.
Rod
Instead of
Serling
Meta Schwartz
the
be
condoms.
with you, would say, "This week in the Twilight Zone." Isn't it cute?
Man. Yeah. So welcome everyone. Guess what?
Welcome and bienvenue. Come on in.
That's right.
Yeah, all
Thank
that.
you. As Willy Wonka once said.
Bienvenue.
Gracias.
Come on in.
Exactly.
Grazie.
What's that saying in the Disney monorail? Benvenue.
Oh, bienvenue.
Yo
Bienvenue?
Mantengo, Desejades,
I love Denny Makes some great
Vista.
movies.
baby.
They had the
No,
best
there's-
pancakes.
Who?
Burrito.
No, Denny, whatever.
Denny Venu? Yeah.
Bienvenue.
Yeah,
That means the best pancakes.
No, like Dien, as in Denny's. Maybe
Oh.
I'm just hungry.
You are hungry. Sounds like it.
Apparently.
You know what sounds good?
What?
Kiki's Breakfast Cafe.
You're going to Denny's, you're hungry? If you're hungry, you're going to Denny's?
No. Just like I'm hungry. Apparently, I
Oh.
saw a commercial for Denny's, and
Denny's has commercials still?
pancakes sound good.
Denny's is still around?
I think so. It's a national commercial.
Oh,
Isn't it all about IHOP or Perkins or something like that?
We don't have IHOP here. We got a Perkins. It's
You got
kind of
Waffle
shitty.
House? Everybody got Waffle
We
House.
don't have a.
No, actually,
this
Waffle
far
Houses
north.
are only in the South. They're
Yeah.
literally only in
What?
like Georgia, like
No,
South,
because
Southern
I went to
line,
a Waffle House like in California once.
That's great, but that's still south of where I'm at.
Shit.
Well, it depends on what part of California.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else is Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
We don't have that either.
Well, I mean, we don't either. But they
Damn
have
it.
that in
You gotta have
California.
something. I mean, you guys are the corn capital of the world, so you gotta have some kind of.
Jack
No,
in the
that's
Box?
Nebraska. No, we don't have Jack in the Box.
You're not missing much there.
we got Sonic. We have Culver's. Culver's.
Culver's.
They're-
I'll take Culver's.
Yeah,
Oh, Culver's is like the
we
bomb.
don't have Culver's, but I know what it is.
See, that's why you're
So
lacking.
you guys
on this
need
stuff.
you need like In-N-Out burger or something.
We don't need In-N-Out burger. We got
Five Guys?
Culver's. We have a couple Five Guys.
A couple of
We've got,
podcasts.
we've got we got 15 guys. We had Hardee's, but they keep going out of business.
So there's still Hardee's around that area.
A little
They
bit. not
didn't
a lot.
become Carl's Jr. until like, I don't know, like Minnesota.
Mason, like
I don't think they have
the
Culver's Jr. in
Mississippi River.
Minnesota. East to west. No, you're thinking it's you have
So
to go
Carl's
south.
Jr.
You have to go south to get Carl's Jr.
And that's out like in the West Coast. And Hardee's is just Carl's Jr. out there, isn't it?
I know that the two are the same thing, but I don't know
Yeah.
where they're located. I've never seen a Carl's Jr. in person.
I thought it was
Pretty sure
Hardee's
they're-
out west, Carl's Jr. down here.
No,
Maybe I don't
it's-
get my.
It's Hardee's out here, Carl's Jr. out west.
Isn't it like rallies and
Checkers?
What's that? Checkers.
Yeah, same
Rallies
thing.
up north.
Wow,
Checkers down south.
we're really
No,
off to
they-
a good start.
Yeah, they are, but there's a place I used to live. There was a Rallies and a Checkers in the same town. I was like, what the fuck? This is like Twilight Zone. Dun, dun, dun.
And that was
That was here,
Greenbow, Alabama.
No, it was in Birmingham, Alabama,
Wow.
when I was in college. But I thought that was
Oh,
odd
man.
that they were both there.
Nice.
That just shows you, like, if there's a Publix and a Kroger's in your city, you know you're right on that line. So
Yeah,
Dude, we don't have either one of those.
you guys probably have Winn-Dixie, I'm guessing, or
No, why would we have Winn-Dixie?
Wigwams.
No.
You have Wiggums.
No, we've
What
got
is that?
Hy-Vees, Fairways,
Safeway.
no Safeways. I'm trying to think what
Man.
else we have. Yeah, that's
It
pretty much
literally is just corn and some gas stations.
Yeah.
Damn.
For fuck's sake. We did have a regional
Publix
chain.
is better than Kroger, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Oh my god.
Well, they do
Kroger
have
has better
BOGOs.
prices, but Publix is
Yeah,
like,
but Publix
I
has
feel fancy every time I go in Publix.
Dude, you know what? You want to feel
Publix has
fancy? You
BOGOs.
go to Trader Joe's.
They have a Trader Joe's. Well, there's one in Birmingham. It's
What
like
about Whole
45
Foods?
Not
And
a,
Whole Foods, not in
probably
Selma.
at least an hour and a half away.
There's a Whole Foods.
Oh my God.
About 30
I
minutes
gotta-
away where the shopping is.
Nice. I got a good
Dude.
I have all that shit around me. It's like
Well, that's
I have
cool.
like
You live in
Mecca.
Orlando.
Exactly.
I'm in
I
Selma,
live outside
Alabama.
of Orlando. Thank you very much.
I'm
I only
in the
have
middle
like
of
3
bumfuck
theaters next to me.
nowhere.
Gosh, I only have like 18 restaurants and 3 theaters there, man. What do you expect of me in Orlando?
Right.
Gosh,
Dude, you know what
And
we
a
have here?
theme park's like 8 minutes from me.
Well, screw you.
We
You know,
actually
I
have stuff here in Selma, just not the stuff I want.
Huh?
There actually is a city here. I was surprised. Like going through all this like cornfield. Well, not corn, but yeah, there's cornfields. Like lots of fields and nothing, and then all of a sudden city. You're like,
Yeah, that's what they tend to do, you know.
no, well, more
No.
town, less city, more town. But it's
You know what we've got here that you guys don't have there. There was a regional chain here called Dick's. It was a grocery
goods?
store. No, just Dick's.
oh yeah, there is a grocery store called Dick's. Yeah,
Right. So it was
You
a
have
regional
Sheets,
chain.
too.
Well, good for you. But anyway, so
No,
it was
you
bought
know, I'm
out-
saying
it
you
was,
do.
What, Sheets?
Yeah.
No, we don't. What is Sheets?
Wait, isn't
Do
there like
Dicks
a
and Sheets
place
go
that has like
together?
really good pizza? A gas station that has really good pizza.
Yeah, Quick Star
Punch
or
Brothers?
Casey's.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. What is Sheets?
I have no
I don't know
idea.
what are
you
we
saying
even talking
cheeks
about
or
anymore?
sheets?
Okay, look,
Oh,
I have
Sheets
to.
like S.
I have to
Oh,
finish
I thought you were saying
this
cheeks. I was
because
like dicks and cheeks together. I want to
Yeah,
see
exactly.
the shrimp ball.
look, I need to finish this. Okay, so
Good.
Dick's
The
grocery
Dixie Cheeks.
store was bought out by Piggly Wiggly, and as part of the stipulation during the transition period, it became Dick's Piggly Wiggly.
Nice.
Dick's Piggly Wiggly.
And also, when Dick's was just a standalone place, they had their the savings cards. It was called the Dick's Insider.
Nice.
My friend still has it. He still has his card.
Oh man, keep that. Never get rid of that card.
Was there a haircutting place next to it called Harry's?
No.
No.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's great.
And so, with that said, that has nothing to do with our
It's
favorite
everything.
episode of the pilot of the Twilight Zone, which is season 3, episode 22, A Piano in the House, directed by Dave Greene, written by Earl Hamner Jr., production code 4825, air date February 16th, 1962, stars Barry Morse, Joan Hackett, Don Durant, Muriel Landers, Phillip Coolidge, and Cyril Delevanti. Okay. So, Piano in the House. Yeah.
No, you're
This is
saying
the
it wrong.
episode
You're saying it wrong. It's piano
Piano-
in the house.
that would have been a much more interesting episode. That would have made me want to put this at the bottom of our list. Yeah.
Oh damn!
So this
I'm
is not the episode
Spicy,
I
spicy.
was hoping would be after Kick the Can. I will get this off my chest now. This episode made me actively angry, like to a point where I think this is the worst episode I've seen of the Twilight Zone.
it's funny
hate
you
this episode.
mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that because I
What's
know that
that?
we kind of take the Paste magazine ratings kind of with a grain of salt. But Piano is right next to Fever in terms of like the countdown.
Yeah, I saw that, but it's like still like 20 episodes above the bottom. So
Yeah, no, it's 40
Um,
episodes above. 40
oh
episodes above
yeah,
the
I'm
bottom.
sorry.
You
Yeah.
should be.
I know. I should be. I should just
Wow.
throw myself out a window and find my cat lady, that type
What?
of thing.
That's silly.
Guys, have
Have
you
fun
ever
editing
just
this.
like sat down? Have you ever sat down and wondered why you do things sometimes and why you have to talk about things sometimes? That's
Nah.
this episode.
You think about this stuff before you do it?
I must really enjoy your company. Because I always say you guys are like the loofah of my hearts. I don't know which color of loofah, but you're like the loofah of my heart. This episode is definitely like
Purple.
the black loofah. This is the one that you find, sometimes you have to like
Oh, you're down for
date
everything.
you have to date the granny to get the inheritance, and the sugar mama, and it's disgusting and awful, but you do it anyways. That's this episode. I don't know, guys. we have an episode called A Piano in the House. It's the 87th episode of the Twilight Zone, and I think we found a new
the
low.
house.
It's in the house. Oh
It
man.
must be
Okay.
referenced that way henceforth.
I think so too.
This isn't like
You know
the
what?
original
guys?
version of House Party.
Not
Mhm.
really. But
So
you know
what are you
what?
gonna say,
That we
Trip?
need to make sure that this gets at the bottom of the list. That way, every time Nick says it, he has to say number 87, a piano in the house.
And he's been night when he's like real tired and earthy, and he's like, and the last one is a piano in the house.
Or I'll be
Go
falling
back to being
asleep and be
sleepy, Nick.
like, and then you have to cut it and go in the.
And we need to get those air horn things.
Don't forget about the explosions.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Absolutely. We need to. I need to figure out
Um,
how to like insert audio from OBS into this. I just have like an audio soundboard the whole time where every time you said something, I'd have a sound effect for it. Where's my explosion?
Explosions.
The house.
Do you
This is
realize though,
Cyril.
if we put this below Perchance to Dream, what was the last episode that actually got Perchance to Dream further down the list?
I don't know. Last
It's
season.
been a minute.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a minute.
Yes, it has.
Oh, by the way, this is Cyril Delevanti's third or fourth episodes in the Twilight Zone.
Oh
He
my
was
God.
the old man in the Penny for Your Thoughts, and I think he was another butler at some point.
Yeah, who else? What else has he been in? I was looking at him. I was like, man, there's something.
He was in the
about
Penny
that
for Your
guy.
Thoughts with Dick York. Was it Dick York?
What else? Something bigger. Something
The
like
Silence.
Hang on,
He was
hang
like
on.
he was in The Silence.
He was oh no. He
A
was in a
Passage
bunch of he was in The Lodger. He played a lot of unaccredited roles.
Cyril. That's him.
Yeah.
Long career in American films. He was sometimes credited as Cyril Delevanti.
Dude, he was unaccredited in a lot of stuff. Night of the Iguana, he was Nano. He was Mr. Grubbs in Mary Poppins. He was Melkor in The Greatest Story Ever Told. Bedknobs and
He
Broomsticks.
was. He said
Soylent
Green is
Green.
people and Soylent Green.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking through all this and I feel like I've seen him somewhere, but he was older, like he was in this.
Yeah,
He
you
just
probably
looks so
remember
familiar.
from the original or the Silence, and you probably remember from the other episodes.
Maybe that was it. I don't know. I feel
Was
like it was
he-
a movie though. I don't, but whatever.
He was
What
in
was
the
he in,
1943 Phantom of the Opera.
Nah, wasn't that? I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
he was in
maybe,
a lot
maybe
of
it looks like somebody
Universal
else.
stuff. Was he the guy? So there was the guy that was scared that the clock was going to stop and he would die. Is that this guy
Scared the clock was going in the Twilight Zone.
in the Twilight Zone? Yeah.
No, well, no, he's the one that
Thanks
like
for
was
ruining
thinking
the
about
episode. I
robbing.
don't think we've done
robbing
that one
the.
yet.
No, we haven't.
And you don't stop.
Like he kept the clock wound because if he didn't, he was scared he was going to die.
I vaguely remember
No,
something.
it doesn't look like it.
Okay, never
Probably a
mind.
different old man. Different
Yeah,
old
he
man.
just has
Trip.
that face. Yeah.
He
And I'm
looks like
just
a
gonna
guy you've
say it.
seen.
I'm just going to say it now. I think
Say
he's
it.
creepier smiling than when he's.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Got one of those Joker faces. No
Yeah.
offense against the guy, but
He looked like he needed to be in that movie Smile
mm-hmm.
because like he was super creepy.
That or
He
he's
turned
like
around and he's
Actually,
going,
that or like the silent movie, The Man Who Laughs. He's got
Yeah.
that kind of a smile.
very creepy.
I looking through his guest starring appearances, and like there's like Daniel Boone. This is Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and I thought it was Alfred Hitchcock Presents Mission Impossible. Like that would have been amazing.
Alfred Hitchcock presents Mission Impossible.
No, it looked like it had like the two dots. The what is that?
Oh, okay.
But it's
Okay.
no, but it's there's a comma between the two, ampersand or whatever that's called. Okay, guys. In all honesty, I hate this fucking episode with a passion. I am the Rich from
Why?
Red Letter Media talking about some really terrible episodes. I can't laugh like Rich, but I fucking hate this episode with a passion. I wish they would dick the birthday boy this episode into out of existence. I
Dick
fucking
the birthday boy.
loathe this stupid ass episode because
So you're
it is one
Plinkett?
of them is what's that?
So you turned into Plinkett?
Yes. I just gotta get really
Also
drunk.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is the most cynical, downtrodden, depressing, fucking. I feel so bad for the actors in this episode because I understand what it's trying to do. It's trying to show how a really nasty human being gets his comeuppance by tricking people into telling the truth. But I hate the way this episode starts out. I hate the way it ends. I hate everything about it. And I think this is the worst episode I've seen of the Twilight Zone, which is a hard thing to do because there are some really shitty episodes in this series. But I don't know. I'll let you guys go on. I mean, outside, I guess maybe the only good thing is the music, but it's all stock music. So stuff you've heard like a million times before. But you guys tell me why I'm wrong, because I know you guys will probably like this a lot better than I did. So
Doesn't sound like it would take much.
Yeah, no doubt. I didn't mind the concept. I thought that was cool. And I think you take like the Pace magazine stuff as kind of a, like a huge grain of salt. But I did like they.
Oh yeah,
they
I don't listen to
up,
Pace magazine.
No. But I know. But they did bring up an interesting point about this episode: the fact that it could be considered a precursor to Liar Liar, and I think there is some truth to that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, Liar Liar borrows from that typical be careful what you wish for type of scenario. It's just the thing I hate most about this episode is nobody is redeemed at all in this episode. Nobody has any arc at all. It's basically a man, having the tables turned on him, and then he's still nasty and he's still an a-hole, and yeah, the butler gets back at him in the end and stuff like that. But it's just like I don't know. I just feel like there's so much wrong with just the characters. And the thing that made me so mad, and I know this is a 1960s thing, so it's way different than how we think today. But that fucking fat woman, excuse my way of phrasing it, but the way they portray that fat woman is like she knows she's fat. Like that's your character fucking development it's all these characters. It's Esther, who's this abused widow or abused wife, and then the handsome man comes in and he's just a handsome man with no charisma at all. It's just I can't stand when they do this kind of shit, because it feels like it's wasting my time and effort, and it makes me visibly angry to see these tropes played out in this stupid ass manner. And Jacob, you have at it. That's where I'm going to leave it. I know you have things to say too. I'm sorry I keep cutting you guys off, but I have a very visibly angry thing.
Well, I was just going to add that was an interesting point, but it kind of feels like those episodes where the writer had like that group of people in his life that he just wanted to like write about, because there's something more personal, not personal as in oh, I have a story to tell, but just a kind of vindictive. I got this asshole, I got that asshole, I got that other asshole, gonna make them all pay. It's kind of like escape clause, but across the entire movie or entire episode as compared to just the one person. And I guess,
see, the funny thing,
like it's moral, it's moral lesson, but it's not a moral lesson. It's just like, it's like the masks, it's like you can take off the mask, and it's not that they do, but it kind of brings out that point about that person,
right? And real quick, this episode is written by the writer of The Hunt, which was a good episode. A piano in the house, Ring a Ding Girl, You Drive, Black Leather Jackets, Stopover in a Quiet Town, and Jezebel and the Bewitching Pool.
Yep.
And the Waltons.
Yep, and the Waltons.
And the Waltons, yes, the Waltons too. Yep, I keep forgetting about that, but the Walton, I have a feeling this helped him. Maybe the fact that he did something different than what, as Jacob alluded to, with the whole wholesome Hunt or Waltons may have been. He also wrote Charlotte's Web. Interesting.
Oh wow.
Anyways, sorry, Jacob. I keep cutting you off.
That's fine. Well, yeah, this is definitely. I did notice this was written by Earl Hamner Jr. And I think when you go in, what I do know of his work, when you go into it, you're expecting one thing. That's not what we got here. Yeah. This was a departure from how the stories he usually tells. It's got at least a despicable person who at first you don't realize is a despicable person. I did like how the beginning kind of played with that. He comes in and he's kind of pompous. And you're like, oh, this guy. Then the other guy's kind of being a dick. And for a moment there, you're kind of like, oh, well, this guy, I mean, he's not really that bad. He's just kind of like, hey, why are you acting like this asshole? But then you find out he's actually kind of a piece of shit. I kind of like this episode.
This is the perchance a dream moment. I can
It
tell
has
right
its
now.
faults. It definitely does. I don't hate. I didn't find the ending to be super satisfying. I did find the ending to it just kind of happened, and there was nothing. It's not like anybody didn't see that coming, or something. You know, maybe not the specifics, but it was going to get reversed, and the song was going to play on him. I mean, yeah, you knew that, but I was expecting something else, some other twist or something of more substance. The ending does leave you kind of, kind of limp. But I don't know. I liked the interactions between the people. It's some mean shit going on. I mean, the majority of this episode is a mean person being mean to people. Like that part with the woman dancing around, the overweight woman, that was like that was sad. That was like, this is fucked up, man. You're just in front of you're an asshole, you know. You definitely know this guy's an asshole. And I mean, I think that's the whole thing about it. Nasty people will get theirs in the end, even if they are successful and they get some things. And on the outside, we look in, and this guy was successful, and he was people looked at him with praise and looked up to him and all this, and thought he was all this and that. But on the inside, he was just an empty husk of a human being. And I think that was something he was going for there, or at least what I took from it. That even though people look as if everything's great on the outside and they're getting everything they want, you wonder, how is this asshole getting this when they're such a shitty person? They're living a miserable life. And the fact that, of course, he just got his in the end. He tried to toy with these people and just be mean, and it backfired on him. So, I mean, yeah, like that. But I like the interactions between him and these people. Like, I like the one, like when it started, that whole interaction in the antique shop or whatever it was. I like that. At first, I was like, wow, this guy's just like totally ignoring him. And it's like that one dude was such a dickhead to him, just kind of like, fuck off. Why are you here? I run a shop. Why are you in here trying to buy shit? He was like, like, what's his name from Clerks? His job wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for the fucking customers. He was the 1960s Clerks. But yeah, I liked that interaction. And then when he got home, I was interested to see what's he going to do with this piano. I mean, obviously it's going to play and people are going to, because at first I thought the piano just made people happy, or like maybe juxtapose their emotions or something. But then we find it, I guess it makes you tell the truth. I'm not 100% sure exactly what this piano does.
What it does is it brings out emotions in you. So the music might, be a romantic song, and it's going to affect. There's no real rules for how the piano works.
Yeah,
it's just it's like the romantic song plays, and the two discuss their ins and outs, or it was Mary. What was the end song? Beautiful Dream, or Mary, whatever the lullaby thing was at the end, turned him into like a little kid.
And that's the thing, is like, cause I gather that, like, it, I guess depending on what the song is, it like has a different emotion it evokes on people. But it seems like truth telling is always a part of that, I suppose, because it seemed like everybody, when they did that, it may be in a different way, but they were telling the truth. They're just being totally naked. But I got questions about that last
they
part
wouldn't
too.
have otherwise be. So
yeah, it's like they're totally stripped away. All the masks are gone. Hey, you know what? In the beginning, it had a lot of masks. Maybe that was subliminal.
Well, but on the piano, there was the little figure there was, and I don't know what the significance was exactly, but it was New Zealand Maori tiki.
Well,
I'm not,
okay.
But I don't
and
know.
And they did talk about masks a couple of times, so I guess that's ultimately what it does. Is it strips you of all your masks.
Mm-hmm.
But
hey, you know what episode does this better? An episode called The Mask.
Whoa!
But yeah, I do have, like I said, I liked part of this episode, but I do have some questions concerning not even specific functionality of this piano, but like, how they know what song to play and who it's going to affect. And blah blah blah, and why a certain somebody. It seemed like this person had some inside knowledge and specifically played a certain thing. She had a look on her face, kind of when his wife does it. It looked like she kind of knew. Okay, what do you think of this? Like, I don't know. Maybe I was reading into it too much.
No, I think you definitely bring up a point because there'd be no way to know how someone would react.
Yeah, how did she know that that was going to affect him and nobody else, or is it specific songs that affect? I don't know that part, and I'm always one who's kind of like, hey, you don't have to explain all the ins and outs about some of these things. Like I brought up the DeLorean and Back to the Future last week, I think, because sometimes it takes away from the mysticism about it. But the thing is, in this one, I think they got to give you at least a little something, because like as to like how it targets people or who it's going to target. Does it target everybody? Because it doesn't hit everybody. It hits a specific person in the room. How do you know who it's going to be? Is it just luck of the draw? If so, why did it seem like she knew? Oh yeah, what do you think of this, asshole? You know, I don't know.
That's a huge problem with this episode is the rules. You know, first of all, it's not even explained how exactly he figures this out. He just kind of knows that like he's going to be able to fuck with everyone. And then the rules of like, as you just said, of who gets picked, it's almost like he has like a clairvoyance or a, you know, the piano is reading him, which makes no fucking sense because, you know, so basically it reads off his emotions and whatever scroll he puts in. If he talks to that person, that the rules of this episode don't make any logical sense. And then on top of everything, I just get tired of this same old trope about, oh, you know, this guy is so evil and there's no redeeming qualities about him. And, you know, it's just like the idea of like, you know, he wants to buy a piano for his wife. And it just, I don't know. It just
Well, even
bothered
that
me
was
so
backhanded.
much.
I mean, when he was buying
like,
it, you think, oh, he's nice. He's out getting something for his wife. He's like, I'm gonna buy her piano. She wants to learn how to play, but
she wants
this
to
dumb
learn
bitch
how to
obviously ain't got
piano.
no talent. So I want one that plays itself. And he even tells her, he's like, it's such a backhanded compliment when he comes to her. He's like, she's like, yeah, but this one plays itself. I know, because when in, you know, a week or two, when you find out you have no talent, it'll still play for you. Look, I was thinking about you. And I'm like, what an asshole. He is a shit, man. And I think that's what I liked.
He's probably the worst character in this series, like when it comes to like an asshole. Like he's worse than the guy from Escape Clause. Like it's how bad he is.
He's nasty. He's not just mean. He's nasty. And
well, you know, don't you think too? It's that they specifically say he's a theater critic.
Yeah.
And I think that plays into a lot of that whole thing too. So
yeah, he's just another trope. It's another trope
I
don't
seeing
like.
that
it's just automatically the theater critic is an asshole. It's like, come on. I mean, it's like the whole Ratatouille. At least Ratatouille took the asshole and made him kind of turn into a halfway decent individual at the end. Here, it's just no, none of that. It just everything. And then Rod Serling is going to come in. Hey, you know what? Fuck you all. I'm going to end it right here. Nope, that's it.
Well, I think he was embarrassed though in front of his people. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but he was embarrassed in front of all of the people that, you know, I know that they said that they were mainly his wife's friends, but they're not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, you know, keep that under their hat. They're going to go out and say, oh my God, what a pussy, you know?
I think part of it was I feel like we've kind of jumped to the end here, but his ego was so big that he never once saw this thing could be reversed on him. Like he never once said, wow, man, what if the wrong songs plays, I might start talking shit and we don't want that. He was never scared. It never entered his mind that this could backfire on me. It was just, how can I fuck with these people? I want to fuck with these puny little shitheads that I hate because I hate people. So I just want to fuck with them and make them feel small. Ooh, this will do it. Not once did it pop up in his head that it can do it to you too. And I think that there at the end when it did, that was something. They didn't do anything with that. I'll say that to Nick's credit. Like, I feel like they had a lot to do. They had a lot of opportunity to say something and do something with that, but they didn't. Just he ended up alone, which, I mean, yeah, that's something. He at the end, he just ended. He was like, you know, everybody looked up to him and wanted to be him, but by the end, he was all alone, huddled in the corner like a child. Even the butler left. But I mean, that, I don't know. It didn't feel totally satisfying for me. Yeah, obviously not Nick.
I'm trying to think. I had a thought and I lost it.
Oh, that's 'cause I talked
let
too
me
much.
let you think, and I'll have Jacob do the thing that I knew was going to forget about again, which is, of course, the opening narration.
The opening narration.
We all forgot about it, so I'll let you think
Yeah.
if you can think about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Jacob.
no, absolutely.
Stick a pin in it. Mr. Fitzgerald Fortune, theater critic and cynic at large, on his way to a birthday party. If he knew what is in store for him, he probably wouldn't go. Because before this evening is over, that cranky old piano is going to play those piano roll blues with some effects that could happen only in the Twilight Zone. I like how he said he's on his way to a birthday party. If he knew what was in store for him, he probably wouldn't go.
I do like the way they introduced Rod as well. That was cool.
Yeah, he's just a shopkeeper in the corner.
Yeah.
He's creepy old Rod.
Where else would he be? I thought
How
about
much for the Sterling?
Exactly. The Rod Serling. I did think of it. Jake, when you said that they were kind of in awe of him, I never really got the idea that they thought much of what he was as a person.
No. I don't think
never,
anybody likes him.
No, it never came off as oh, we're not worthy. It was just
it's his influence.
This asshole over here, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Let me clarify. I don't think any of them thought he was a good person or like looked up and said, "Oh, I want to be him." It was more like because he was famous and he was rich and powerful, so it was almost like they were under his thumb. Mm-hmm. Like they kind of had to, like, so he had the admiration, at least thinly veiled and on the surface, of the people, but it was fake. Nobody really liked him. They liked what he had, or they just had to. I don't really know. Like the one guy, I understand why he hung around, because I guess he liked his wife.
Yeah.
The woman, I feel like he's just a prominent figure within that society, and they are all like, well, it's this, what's his name? Fitzgerald, you know, he has a lot of pull, so let's just, you know, watch our mouth. Let's be civil. I feel like as soon as they walk, they're like, what a fucking, I hate that fucking guy. We got to come back. Do we have to come back again? Yes, honey. We have to come back next week. He's the guy. And I'm like, all right.
Can we talk about how way on the nose this guy's name is? His name is Fortune.
Fitzgerald Fortune.
Yes. Jerry.
Yeah, it's so on the fucking nose. It's like, hey, theater critic, well-to-do ne'er-do, angry man, Fortune. It's like, I'm like, come on.
He even had kind of the weird, like, not that his beard was pointy, but you would expect it to be pointy.
He did have a super villain beard.
He totally did.
Very Tony Stark from Iron Man.
He looked like F. Murray Abraham.
Who did he look like?
F. Murray Abraham.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, like a younger. I mean,
yeah,
he wasn't young.
Like Salier. If Salier was an asshole and tried to berate his wife. So I mean, they at least have good music in this. I like the you know, the songs that you recognize from other shows and movies, and
oh yeah,
they play it to good effect, and I do appreciate that. But it's just nothing about this movie, nothing about this episode at all like interests me, entertain me. I was starting to visibly want to. This is probably why my graphics card came loose, because I was visibly shaking my PC. I had to replace the glass on my PC now. No, it's just
Tell me on the episode where the F or the Fitzgerald Fortune hurt you.
Well, he hit me here, and he hit me here, and he hit me here.
I'm not kissing them
it's,
to make them better.
Nick needs this episode is about as much as he needs another asshole right here.
You know, that's one thing they didn't do in Freak that would have been really cool. Somebody with an asshole right elbow. There. Yeah.
They make that reference back in the last Indiana Jones movie.
An asshole on your elbow?
Yeah.
No, the kiss on the elbow.
They do at the very end. I finally saw that movie.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can. Triv, if you haven't seen it, you can wait.
I was kind of planning on it. Even
if you're a fan. Yeah. I figured. But yeah, I should have waited.
It'll be on Disney Plus next month, probably.
Yeah, I should have waited.
It's
not like the worst. I know we're going on a tangent here. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it did not. There's no need for it to be made, and there's so many issues with it, especially closer to the end. It's just like Get the fuck out of here.
I
We'll
do
just
have
leave
a
it at
way
that.
to describe this up or like Indy 5 that will take us back to the episode.
Shitstorm.
Grubbius, like the way that the butler is described is looking or sounding
yeah.
sad and dismal.
No, what there was a description in here. I didn't have anything open to like take note of it. There's a description made, and I think it was of the butler. He said, or somebody described someone in this long like stretch of words that I was like, wow, that's like a sexicon sentence. But I didn't go back and get it. Now I need to rewatch it to see that again.
Well, if nothing else, you've got Gubbius. I'm sorry.
Grabius.
Lagubius. Lagubious.
Lagubius.
But anyway, sounding or looking sad and dismal, which was Indy 5.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So this man, he buys a piano. He takes it home. He rolls the scroll on it. Scroll makes people talk, and his wife gets very angry. And she, a very attractive woman, who somehow married the biggest douchebag in planet Earth. And she's only 26, and I think he's like 85. I mean, I don't know how old he is, but I did think it was funny when they're like, "Oh, see, so I don't know what she saw in you, or whatever it was," and
money.
It just
money.
Also,
we now have another word for rolling a joint is rolling a scroll.
Rolling a scroll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I still smoked weed. I would use that all the time. Let's roll that scroll.
And you know when you light it up, it's called token a note. Or taking a note. Oh man. No, it's a lot of this is just somehow he knows that this piano is magical and will make people say their deepest desires, like with Jerry or whatever the fuck his name is, Greg. Marsha. I don't know what his fucking name is, but he's the nice, handsome guy that loves.
That guy.
Apparently has kissed what's her face, Esther. It doesn't seem like Fitzgerald is very unhappy about it. He just seems to know all this stuff, and
they're not precisely all that quiet about it, you know.
Discreet.
Yeah, they're not at all that. So oof.
It's just
like he said, I've known that you was fucking around on me. I just didn't know all the details. Now I do.
Yeah. We got the deets.
What is that word when the trope or the MacGuffin or whatever is like the perfect kind of on the nose MacGuffin? There's a specific word for it, but it feels like it's like everything he knows. This piano is the perfect revelation, the perfect reveal for everyone about him, and it just I don't know.
It just affirms everything he
it's
exactly
just like that perfect, like there's no flaw to it at all. It's just like the thing that makes the perfect reason for everything he knows about it. It's like almost like the piano is like his conscience coming out into the open or whatever, and it just
essentially all he's saying is he's oh god, what's the character? But he smokes a cigar and he says, "I love it when a plan comes together."
Oh, Hannibal?
Yeah.
From A-Team?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it Hannibal like the Liam Neeson version?
Yeah.
Or the one from the actual
either way, they both say
OG. Yeah.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I pity the fool. That's
you know what would have been
I'm just looking at the Twilight Zone companion, and let's see. The problems are with the writer connecting the characters are not at all connected with reality. Earl Hamner says, I've never known a critic, but it was my idea of what a critic would be.
Yeah, now that makes a lot of sense. It's like when fucking the last movie that Quentin Tarantino is going to put out is about a critic. It's like what Quentin Tarantino thinks about critics and what he thinks about what they are. And as somebody who works in the critic space, there are people like this, but a good portion of critics are just honest, not honest, I would say, but are people that have a passion for that particular thing. The problem with this is it's a very atypical, stereotypical, tropey, critical character that is in every fucking movie that you see, that is like the worst character, worst human being of all time, and it's not believable at all. If they
I know, it's
gave
not
him
believable
some
at all. He doesn't rank anything.
yeah,
He's not
he just
critic. He's not being critical if he's not ranking. What are his rankings? Not once did I hear him say anything about rankings. This is bullshit. No, I get you though. In all honesty, he comes across as like a pompous ass, and that's what critics always are in these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say, Jake, according to the companion, the magic player piano has the ability to reveal people's inner selves and uses it to humiliate his wife and various people.
But but it never fully explains how that happens. Like, does each scroll have the person's name on it? He just writes the person's name on it. He goes, this will be for my abused wife, and this will be for the fat lady, and this will be for Jerry or
I do
Greg
agree there.
or whatever the fuck is. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I don't have
a problem with how it worked and what it did, and even because I mean it's Twilight Zone, it's going to be something fantastical. I was fine with that, and I don't need an explanation as to why that is, and even the whole thing about how he knew, because he just kind of came to that conclusion pretty quick. He saw the thing with the guy in the piano. I could see the whole situation in the beginning at the antique store. He's like, "What the fuck just happened?" But he came to that conclusion, Jacob, but it doesn't make any sense how he knows who's going to be affected by it.
But my issue with I know Gremlins is a full-length feature film. I get that. But they spend at least a couple of minutes saying, do not do this, do not do this, do not do this. There is no explanation of what this piano does. And he just like the only time you ever kind of figure out what's going on is he talks to the person. Does the piano have like magic abilities to focus the piano's energy onto?
I agree.
I mean, I know it's 24 minutes, but
like you said with Gremlins, I mean, that's a perfect adage. You just like, okay, they tell you Gremlins will multiply if you get them wet. You don't need to know why. I don't need to know. None of us do. We don't need to understand the ins and outs of their anatomy as to why a gremlin if it gets wet, what makes it like pop out other gremlin. No, you just need to know it does. Here, it's like we know it'd be like Gremlins if they multiply. Why? Well, you don't know that you get them wet. They leave that out. And like, but this one person, one of the people in the movie, it's like if everybody in the movie knew they get them wet, but you as a viewer, you didn't know. And you're sitting there like, how do they know to do these things to make more gremlins? It's like they left out, they don't need to explain everything, but you got to give us a little something even if it's some far-fetched way that he figured out how this works. I mean, it's 24 minutes. I'll let a lot go, but give me something. There's no rhyme or reason as to how he knows that, oh, this scroll is going to affect this lady over here or this person or not me. I think the not me thing, though, I do think that was kind of built into the story. I think that was supposed to be his pompousness and his not ego, but arrogance about he's so used to demeaning everyone around him that, you know, he never even once thinks that something like that is going to happen to him.
I would add, though, I do think, and not that, you know how a magic lamp, like, you know, it has a master or whatever. Not that that's the case here, but I do think there might be elements of he's kind of the one controlling the situation. He's like the one that's, you know, putting
whoever
the things,
puts the music in, like
that
whoever they're feeling.
Yeah, to some extent, that's kind of what I took from it. But I will also add two things. One, for all of this, they're in the Twilight Zone, so that's probably, you know, goofy shit happens. Also, to quote one of my favorite shows, repeat to yourself, it's just a show, you should really just relax. And I'm not saying that, I'm saying that to be stupid more than anything else, because
I know
no, here's the thing, they could have added something in and it wouldn't have taken that long. And honestly, like, the back end of this thing, for me at least, was a little cringy, because it did focus a lot on one person as compared to spreading around the goofy, stupid hate. But yeah, no, they could have said something like, oh, I've, you know, the piano arrived and, you know, I'm going to, you know, even if it's a dumb exposition thing, just something to connect him to the, you know, I have marked, you know, why do these have names on them? Oh, well, I want special tunes for each one of these people.
Even better yet, even if it was random, I would have been okay with it if it was just random. Like at one point you act like, because he says, we're going to find out who's the devil. Like he didn't know who it was going to affect. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I could even go with he didn't know it was going to affect I hate to keep calling her the fat lady, but he didn't know it was going to affect her, but he knew it was going to affect his wife because he turned it on while she was in there. Like there are times it seems like he knows that this is going to affect a specific person. Other times he's like, I don't know. And then when she did it, she put the scroll in there. I mean, I don't know. I just think it should have just been a random person, and it just ended up being, it affected him that last time.
Here's how you do it from a standpoint. You do one of three things, and this is just my view. You do it the liar way, where the kid is like, my father's an asshole, blah blah blah. You do it from maybe the shopkeep says this thing is evil, similar to Gremlins, or this might sound ridiculous, but you do it the Simpsons way, which is actually very similar to the Gremlins way, where you go in there. Or no, actually, I'm sorry. The Simpsons way was what I was originally saying, where he goes in there and the shopkeep says it's evil. Like it's a really funny episode. Or you do the one thing where this man buys this piano and he puts a scroll in, and he notices one of the people in his room change, and that gives us knowledge. And he's like, oh, so this is doing this, and maybe no one's in the room, and so that gives us a little bit of knowledge. Oh, here's somebody who can take a scroll. But then it goes to the end of the episode, and it's like all she, if you can't really do the genie thing, because all now she has control of the scroll, and it just completely upends the idea of like, so basically anybody could put the scroll in there. It just, the rules are not established very well, to the point where it's almost confusing on who exactly, what exactly, and where exactly, and why. And
if they kept it random, I would have honestly been fine with it. But like you're saying, as soon as I felt like entered in the whole targeting and people knowing how to target someone, then you're like, how do they know that? I don't need it to make sense. I just need you to give me a little something. Like you said earlier, needs to be whoever puts it in there. If they're thinking of a certain person, it'll affect them. I'd be like, okay, I can live with that. It's 24 minutes.
Yeah, just give me a little bit of something. It went straight to Howl's Gomorrah.
I don't need to know that. Well, it was handcrafted in Beijing in 1215 BC or something, and like a young girl had it and died at the piano, and her spirit. I don't need to know all that. I just need to know the very basics.
Yeah, I'm not expecting like somebody to have a diagram that says do not touch this button here or you will do this. I just want to go, oh, so it does this. Okay, so evil asshole guy, uses it to his advantage, but be careful what you wish for, which is what the episode's doing, is be careful what you wish for, and it just doesn't even do that right.
Yeah, if you're gonna not explain it, then you just need to leave it up to like randomly up to fate. But like I said, as soon as they put the idea in your head that at least he or some of them at times can target it, it's like, how? And that's what I'm thinking about. But beyond that, I like the interactions.
I don't know what else you guys want to talk about with this episode, because I'm not being very charismatic about it, so as you could tell.
Was there nothing you liked about it? And don't say the credits.
The credits.
Well, he said he liked the music. Yeah,
the music was fun. I mean, it was an episode of the Twilight Zone.
I mean, you can say that, the fact that it got that visceral of a response from you, Nick, though, does kind of talk about the effectiveness of the episode to some extent.
Yeah. Only something you love can make you that angry.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, The Simpsons have made me that angry, so I mean, anything's possible in this day and age. So
true.
I don't think that this was like the worst episode by far. I don't think it was the best either, and I have issues with it. I don't think it's perfect. I did like I think the script, the story, not the story, but the script, the screenplay had issues. That's where the issues lie for me. I think the execution I actually liked. I liked the direction. I liked the performances, and I mean, some of them were one note, but you get that a lot in these short form storytelling, because that's all you got time for. But I like the interactions between the people, and as they spoke, I really like that. Like that part with the fat lady, it was horrible, but like still entertaining. It was horrible, but it evoked a true emotion from me, where I was like, I really hate this guy, and this guy is so terrible. I feel so sorry for this woman right now, because she was so happy a minute ago and so nice. And I've known people like that. And this guy's just like shaming her in front of everybody. And that pissed me off. So, I mean, it did evoke get an emotional response from me. So I got to give it that. And I I feel like they had an interesting enough, maybe not like top tier Twilight Zone, but they had an interesting idea and story. They just didn't know where to go. They didn't know where to end on a satisfying note, for me at least. No pun
I
intended.
would, yeah, exactly. I kind of, I feel like I always fall between the two of you, which is a weird thing to say.
All right, this podcast
Dear
just got
God.
a boost in viewers.
Ooh, sweaty.
The Fifth
Oh,
Dimension
Jesus.
After Dark.
Oh yeah, no, you have to say it right. The fifth
Afterlife.
dimension after dark.
Ooh.
No,
Because
I
anal.
yeah, exactly. I
I like
can't.
as
I
you
can't
said that
go
you
there.
went,
I can't. I can't go there. Anyway, no, I feel like I fall kind of in the middle of this whole scale. I will agree that I don't know, like there weren't a whole lot of likable characters, and I know that was kind of the point.
Mhm.
Uh,
Not likable like in when I say I like the interactions.
no,
people,
no.
I liked
understand.
seeing them, but
Right.
there were some despicable people here.
I would even say that, and I apologize, like you, I don't remember her name for sure, and I really don't care to look it up. But the fat lady, like she comes in and everything's cool. She's like, oh, I'll beat up anybody that likes you and all that stuff. But then everything that she said was like, oh well, I'm hungry. We need cake, and everything that she said kind of reinforced that there wasn't a reason for her to be speaking.
Mm-hmm.
It was just to reinforce the fact that she's fat.
And then he clearly had a mask on, and that was clearly her outward projection of like, oh, I'm so happy and all that. By the way, her name was Marge.
I appreciate it. But even with that, it's like it felt like
Large Marge.
It felt like every trope that you could imagine, and it was overplayed for my taste. But then they go into and you see him being a dick, and she's, I'm skinny and I'm beautiful and I'm snowflake, and even like it just went on too long. It's like that joke where someone goes on for too long with it. I just the time allotment for that.
But that joke eventually becomes funny again. There's nothing that becomes interesting after the joke wears out or the trope wears out.
I do agree that she was a bit over the top and very, lots of stereotypes and everything rolled into one as soon as she walked in the room. But I think that for me, that worked for that particular character and her quote unquote arc, what happened to her, because she came in and she was clearly, her mask was like on full display. You may not know all the things about her and the ins and outs and the things that she came to tell, but you know that this is not you. You're not really, she's putting on this like very fake, outwardly facing, like, I'm happy and everything's great, but clearly you are unhappy about something. And that was a bit much. But then when he came in and started being such a shit shaming her like that, it kind of, I don't know. I think those two things work together well. If he hadn't done that, if that wasn't in the episode, I would have said, yes, this character's just like annoying, grating, and a stereotype. But that was a moment when I thought the stereotype worked to get that kind of out there, that she is just kind of a fake person and really sad on the inside, even though she's putting out that she's happy about everything.
See, and I didn't even mind like the kind of flirty, happy-go-lucky person at the start. It was just when they sat down to start doing the quote entertainment, everything that came out of her mouth was, oh, I'm hungry, let's eat. Oh, when's the cake? All that stuff. It just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It got to be a little bit much, because you didn't see that with Esther's, boy toy.
Have you met people like that?
I have. I have sometimes been that person, but I don't go, oh, when's cake? Oh, I'm hungry. Oh, when are we going to eat? All that. It was too much of the same thing.
I know. And maybe it was because it was all compressed, but I've met people just like that were just putting out this very like aggressively fake, and they're not bad people, but it's almost like they're trying to, they're compensating, overcompensating. I've met people that do that. And once again, I don't think they're bad people, but they're just trying to like cover up an unhappiness in their life. And they go out and they like put out this like super aggressive positivity and just like joking. And a lot of the times it's self-deprecating to a degree, like the cake thing and all. She obviously knows she has a weight issue and everybody sees it. And she's like, oh, when is the time for cake? Haha, that chick asking for cake. And then when you see her like very like vulnerable a little while later, it's kind of like you see the opposite of that. I liked that parallel, and I agree with you. I think that in a regular setting, that's too damn much. I think they pushed it a little bit far with her.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I did like the flowy dress when she was spinning and stuff. That was kind of cool. It's like, oh, because every girl wants that spinny flowy dress that goes.
Well, I think that the actress did a really good job too of showing
fantastic.
that whole and admittedly a lot of my enjoyment from this episode, which is terrible, it comes from two terrible scenes, was from that first scene and then that scene right there of her being broken down. And I don't enjoy seeing that. That was the most memorable, I should say, not enjoyment. That makes me sound like a masochist, but
well, you are, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm not mean about it.
Yeah.
but no, she
Where's
like
the piano?
she I thought that actress did a really damn good job of being that like fake person to going and showing like her vulnerability and just like looking truly and honestly, not like super theatrically, but like truly and honestly, like coming out of this daze where she was just naked to the world, like emotionally naked to the world, and she now notices it, and she's just very like, it just seemed it seemed very real. I mean, within the confines of this mystic piano story, and I thought that really lent something to it. That's what, when I say the interactions are what I liked, that's what I mean, like that and the thing with the guy in the beginning. I'm with you guys that I think that there are definitely some holes, some shortcomings. Just not I don't think it's the worst.
I would agree. I don't think it's the worst thing that we've seen, but I don't know. The
first podcast over.
Think?
27.
What did you guys think of the first half versus the second half? What did one stand out as a better kind of?
What was the cutoff for the second half for the first half?
It's when he's I think it's when he says, "Oh, well, I've known that you guys were
right before the people got there."
Yeah, I think so.
All the other people, I guess.
Yeah.
I bet I know what Nick thought. They both sucked. But
the music was good.
It sucks, but had good music.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say the first part was better, even though that part with the woman, the overweight woman, was in the second half. And I think that like I said, the very, very first part in the shop and that part are what really kind of made me take notice of this episode. But I gotta like deduct points from the second half because the end is there, or the lack of one. And the end did leave it real limp. It was just like, really, you had a lot you could do here, and I'm not the writer, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you what, but you had a lot you could have done and said with what you've set up, even though some of it's a little shaky. You could have done something that you could have twist, because if they had put like a really nice twist there, something, a good ending, if they just landed the ending, I think that a lot of people's perception of this episode would have changed. Some of those shortcomings would have been like, well, you know what, that ending made up for it. But that's what you find in a lot of things when things are lacking, especially with the end. You start picking apart all the other stuff that was, you don't give it as much grace.
They find out that the calls are coming from inside the piano.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So something other than this guy just sitting there, because that was, I mean, we all knew once we understood basically what the piano does and see what's happening. Who didn't know that it was going to happen to him? And then when it does, because that's why the whole time I was like, all right, yeah, it's definitely going to happen to him, but something else is going to happen, something. And it didn't even have to be a huge revelation. It just needed to be something else of substance that made you go, oh, and that never happened.
I want to know how the scrolls fit into this, because Esther is being forced to put a scroll into the box, the music, the piano, and then she switches it out.
Yeah.
Now, it would be fine if there was a reason or explanation for that, but there's not. This is my biggest problem. The things you guys are saying, fine. If they did certain things a little bit differently, fine. But you can't tell a story like this and have these basic ideas and concepts and not even get into the minute detail. I mean, it doesn't have to be like, getting into like an Oppenheimer breakdown of every single form and factor of whatever. But like the scrolls should have like different, like she looks at a scroll and it says, this will, this theme will do this and this and this, but there's none of that. It doesn't allow for any reasoning or development. That she just picks up a scroll. She's, oh, that looks good. She picks it up and then she's going to use that. It's just, it almost feels like there's no logic or reasoning to what these scrolls do. It just, she throws one in there and
you know what would have been neat, and it may have been lost on some people that aren't familiar with the music. They would have had to do a little bit of legwork to but if it was like each song had a very specific tone or something about it, like maybe you have this song and it's well known that this is like a happy song, and maybe you have this one that's kind of like a dour song, and this one's like a just kind of a nasty evil song. And then,
which is what they were going for in the beginning, like with Marvin or whatever. They were like, this
maybe
song
that's
is happy, so he's smiling. But
not just that, because that still, how are you targeting? Maybe the type of song has to be matched to that type of person. So, like, if you've got like a really happy song and you've got like a happier person in the room, that's how it's going to affect them. And if it was that, and there was like this song that's known just for being kind of like foreboding and kind of evil and mean, or not mean, but just kind of dark, maybe a dark song, maybe she grabs this one and she sees that and it's like maybe some well-known, this is a very dark song, and she says that's him, and she took it and put it in there, and I would be willing to go with that. I mean, they'd have to do a little something because not everybody knows every song, but they'd have to have something that would like signify that this is the type of personality that this song goes with. And maybe she just realizes, maybe everybody else does this here, maybe they do, but I know that you're this mean, dark person, so I bet this is your song. So this is the one that's going to get you to open up. I could have gone with that. And if they were doing that, the songs are, I'm not going to say obscure because I know they were all famous older songs, but they're lost on some people. They were lost on me, at least.
Yeah, if they throw an Elton John's Your Song in there, I've been much happier.
Yeah.
We need a little Rocket Man.
We Are the Champions.
Yeah, a little bit.
Another one
by Scott. They all break out in like
so
the wave.
Yeah.
What's his name? Dennis Leary. You're an asshole.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. Be like,
dude, that would have been amazing. It'd be like, oh man, you ever hearing those stories about time travelers? We got one here.
But yeah, I agree. Something they had to give. There were too many inconsistencies as far as like how the magic worked. That just like were basic things, and I think we've all. I agree with you, Nick. I think that did put a damper on the end for me, or a lot of it.
Yeah,
not last place though.
We'll talk. True.
Nothing else to add, really. I think I said my piece.
Damn it, Triv.
What?
Damn it, Triv.
I already said my piece.
She liked it.
You can have something to say. You're part of this podcast, whether you want it or not.
I think I said my piece. Besides, garbage day.
Garbage day.
Garbage day.
I mean, we can talk about Back in Action with Billy Blanks and Roddy Piper.
Billy Blanks. He's from Tybo.
Yes.
Yeah. Or we could talk about the other film that they talked about, which had Ray Parker Jr.
What? Ray Parker Jr. is in a movie? Wait, I'm thinking of Ray Johnson.
No, that was a porn you watched like 2 days ago. Was that part of the Villages porn? Ray Johnson.
Ray Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I didn't, but I don't really care to.
So
he said Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson. Yeah.
So at the okay, so I gotta ask you guys about the end of this episode. So basically, she's turned the tables on him. She's gonna go fuck the young man or the younger guy because she's tired of this, F. Murray Abraham knockoff human being,
ball looking motherfucker,
bitch
with a fake fucking beard, piece of shit, cock and ball motherfucker. No, but so he's made to feel like a young kid. He's made to feel like a young kid. Then he rips out the sheet of sheet of music. Does he stay reverted as the young kid, or is he now just like a shell of a man? It's never really fully explained to him.
Yeah, I would say that he's probably he's lost his reputation. Those people are probably gonna go talk all kinds of mad shit about him.
But don't they,
even his own confidence. But no, I mean, they've seen him for what he is. And I think that they've probably, he himself has lost the confidence that made him, an asshole and such. Like shaken to his core. Yeah, but like outward, because outward is what seems to matter to him. It's all superficial.
Yeah.
But he can no longer, make people tremble at, his reviews because he doesn't have that in him anymore, I would think.
I mean, does it though? I mean, like long term, and I know this isn't what it's about. I mean, these few people gonna go talk shit about this dude if he's like really that renowned. What are they gonna go tell people? Man, we went to this birthday party and there was a magic piano. Most people are gonna be like, all right, stop right there.
But don't you think that even within himself, like when you're shaken to your core, whatever the reason, like it's hard to regain that
maybe.
See, that's the problem. I don't
took.
think anything changed. I think they're all
Seemed
going to
like-
go back
yeah.
and be the same.
But
I think the
you
only thing
did-
that
he
changed,
did
Esther
lose
went to
his
go fuck
wife.
the young man. So
Right.
She's
Well,
already
I mean,
doing
and
that in Mexico.
and that got her free of his influence, though, too.
Yeah, she got free of it. I mean, he's alone. There's that. But I don't
she
know
never
if
really
he's gonna
seemed to
change.
be. She never seemed to be like truly despondent until the very end when she finally stepped up. She just kind of held out in the background, like like, are you gonna do something here? Are you gonna try and trick him at some point? It just doesn't really happen until like the last 2 minutes of this episode, and then she finally does something, and
Stands up and has
it's
had
so
enough.
weird.
She goes all Jennifer Lopez on that ass.
Right?
Woohoo!
But I mean, yeah,
I'm a
basically
dancing
Marvin comes up and is like, "You're not funny anymore," and I'm not laughing, and ha ha ha, and Rod Serling's like, ah ha ha, ending quickly. We're going up into the stars and smoke some cool Chesterfield cigarettes. And all right, with that said,
that is one really funny thing, really quick. So this is and I know it doesn't show up on the Paramount Plus episodes, but it does show up on like the DVD, and I don't know if it shows up on Pluto or any of the other streaming services that carry it, but they do the thing for the next week, the promo for the next week, and then he pauses for a second, and then he goes into how sometimes he gets writer's block, but you know what keeps away writer's block? The smooth taste of Chesterfields. Yay.
I actually wonder if the reason it's not on Paramount Plus, one is because cigarette ads, and two, if it's like a copyright issue.
I can't think that it would after such a long time, though.
But are Chesterfields still around? Or am I misreading that?
I don't think so. Let me check.
Because a lot of times you won't see like the ads in like the Paramount Pluses or the streaming services just for the simple fact that it's like a rights issue. Like if it were like Maytag or something like that. Because I know Maytag was like huge in the 60s.
I don't think that, like, it wasn't like it was an ad read. It, like, if you were doing a YouTube video today, it's not like it was a commercial for Chesterfields. He's just standing there, doing the thing.
By the way, just want to let you guys know these Chesterfields on point.
The Oasis were no longer smooth, so you went on your Chesterfields.
Okay.
I had writer's block for the end of this episode. If I'd had Chesterfields, you would have gotten a satisfying ending.
So it's no longer sold in the States, but they're still supposedly available in Europe as of 2016.
No, now we got 405s and Marlboro Reds and
Chesterfield is the
Newports.
third largest international PMI brand with a volume of 52 billion cigarettes in 2020 and is sold in over 70 markets.
But with that said, do you guys have anything else you want to say on it? Anything you want to say, Virginia Slims?
Number 27.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 0. No, seriously, like anything else you guys want to talk about?
I think I'm good.
No. Let's rank this bitch in the house.
Well, we got something else we got to do first.
Oh, yeah. You know what else is in the house? The closing narration.
The one-line
the shortest closing narration ever. I feel like Rod Serling didn't write this, which we know he didn't. And he came on.
Well,
the day
no, it's funny
like,
because
guys.
it's like he comes in with this Chesterfield cigarette. He's like, "All right, let's get this shit done." No, we're not doing 8 pages of dialogue at the end. No, we're gonna cut it out. We're gonna do one line. All right, let's do this.
No, it's like he came in and like he didn't even see the episode. And like they're like, all right, watch the episode and just he said, I'm just gonna watch it and I'm gonna do it live. He watched the episode and he said
he didn't watch it. He's like, who the fuck is Fitzgerald Fortune? And what does he have to do in the Twilight Zone?
I watched it and then he was like,
piano?
I got nothing. I ain't got shit. Yeah. And
he's like,
what he said.
You know what's gonna happen? You guys are making this episode, and I'm gonna have to deal with these 3 individuals who are the greatest podcast named Triv, Jacob, and of course Nick Now you're making me read it. No, we're doing one line, a paragraph. Now let's get this done.
Let's do it. Mr. Fitzgerald Fortune, a man who went searching for concealed persons and found himself in the Twilight Zone. Most low effort closing narration ever.
It literally feels like they didn't know what to do. They're just like, what we do? And Earl Hamner Jr. is like, I'm going to work on the wall, and you do whatever the fuck you want to do. Here's a closing line that I found in the thesaurus.
I tried something different and it didn't work.
Yep.
I found this on Wikipedia.
But yeah, I do. I last thing, I do think that and I like Earl Hamner Jr., but I think he was the weak link here. Like there's some interesting ideas here, but they just don't go anywhere and they don't flesh them out quite enough. But I think that the execution, the direction, and the performances, I think that saved what there was to save for me. I think that is what kept me invested while I was watching it, was the on-screen magic. Because if it wasn't for the story itself is really not that enthralling, but the cast of characters and their performances and the execution of the actual episode is what shines here.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but I don't. No, I'm kidding.
I like that.
The cast is not bad. The cast is not. I would agree with you, but I don't. The cast is not bad, but yeah, I get what you're saying though. So.
I like what you did there.
Yeah. So with that said,
have you looked at the list, Triv, that he just sent?
Oh no,
pull it up. It's this guy got jokes.
I got jokes for ages, man.
Yes, you do.
For those of you that are anybody who don't know what we're looking at, Nick usually sends us the ranking list thus far each week at this point in time in a chat, and we just got it, and all it says is 86, The Trouble with Templeton, which is our last one, so we don't have a lot of options here. And now he's only sending the second half of the list.
No, I did this backwards. I didn't mean to do that backwards, actually.
Sure,
the first part I meant to do, but yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and finish this up with the. Oh, no, actually, I should say that is our discussion of the 22nd episode of season 3, which is A Piano in the House. We'll talk about the next episode soon. Some reason
a peon in the house. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a peon in the house.
In the house.
Yeah.
With that said, let's head into the last portion of this podcast, which of course is the Twilight Zone ranking list, the greatest ranking list ever to be invented by man for our pleasure and your pleasure and Rod Serling's unpleasureness.
Oh, for sure.
I'm going to start at the bottom, but I
think Triv should start us off.
Oh God,
she is the Oreo cream in this sandwich.
No,
she's the double stuffed of the cookie.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
I don't do good with starters. Great finisher though.
So you got your Dixon cider card?
Absolutely. My pink Dixon cider card.
You like those low prices. Anyway, shit. How did Escape Clause get down to 57? Oof. I would put this at 72.
Really? That low?
Above Walter Jameson?
Yes.
Triv, this is worse than Walter Jameson. At least Walter Jameson had logic and reasoning for what it's
worth.
Did it
though? Did it?
I mean, I'm not agreeing with.
I'm just tossing
low,
something
but I do
out
think
there.
That Walter Jameson had more. It did do better.
This is like getting into the Fever and Jungle area.
Fine. Fine. Okay.
I don't know. You tell me.
Not fine.
Below, between the Mirror and the Arrival.
The Arrival. Which one was that?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Then how the hell did you put it between them?
I put it underneath the Lonely. Okay.
Okay. My first episode.
Was the Mirror the one where the lady like it was alternative or like alternate universe type thing?
That was the one in the bus station.
That was I'm not sure. Wasn't that Mirror Image?
The mirror image. What?
Oh, the mirror was with the Cuban dictator.
Oh yeah, yeah, that one. I enjoyed this one more than that one, more than the mirror. I think the mirror. I don't know. I think it had some plot issues as well, but like it's just like
I just
what would
realized
I
I
rather
had that
watch?
mute on.
I did enjoy this one more than that.
I don't
No,
want to put it up. I would not put this above Mr. Beavis because I really enjoyed that one. Which is 50,
oh no, I wouldn't go
53.
that because I'm like going. I'm right in that arrival area that you
Okay.
set me to, and well, I look
No,
at
the
and when the
Arrival's the
sky
one
was
with
opened up, I like that one more than this.
the detective guy who's insane because of, like, he couldn't solve the mystery.
Yeah, the guy who looked like Patton,
Oh yeah.
the airplane and all that.
Right.
Yeah, I would put this like near the Fever and Jungle.
22. That's
Oh
the
God, I
airplane
thought you
one.
were
No.
saying you wanted to put it in 22. I'm thinking no.
No, that's the airplane one.
Yeah.
Midnight Sun. I didn't care for Midnight Sun. I don't even know what it was. I like the idea. Whatever. I'm right around in that low 60s area. And that may just be because you said that. So now
69 dudes.
I'm looking at I'm looking at those. But our
You guys
list
want
is
to go
so
that?
erratic.
I can't believe you like this episode that much. You're willing to go that high on it.
That high?
Like, this shows,
We're talking
yeah,
about
this shows you how
60s.
like the gap between you guys and me at this moment.
We're on the
'Cause
lower
I want to
end.
put this near I want to put this near Static. Actually,
I
I
mean,
put
we
this
are
at number
literally
87.
on the lower end of the list. We are at the middle of the second half of the list. It's the lower third or lower quarter is what we're looking at. What I'm looking at now. I don't know.
I started in the 70s. I mean,
you guys are saying this is like better than The Four of Us Are Dying.
Well, yeah, it is.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The 70, I shot an arrow into the air. I kind of like that one. I think it's better than Big Tall Wish, better than King 9. I hate the passerby.
Is it better than King 9?
King 9's ending was this one just, you know what? This episode didn't have much of an ending, and
True.
that's, a hit against it. But King 9's ending was just fucking stupid. Like, it had they tried and failed. This one, they just said, we're not going to try. We're not going to fail either. We're just not going to anything.
But doesn't that make it worse? Because at least they were trying in King 9. Like, here they just said, no, we're not trying. That makes it
doesn't
even
make it
worse.
No. They tried it, and
that would be like, if
they took that chance.
That would be like if Game of Thrones went, you know what, we're not even going to try it in season 8. Oh wait, never mind. Maybe we should let.
All it needs is a Starbucks cup.
Dead Man Shoes. Oh, that's the one me and Nick did.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened at the end of it. Oh yeah, I do. Dead Man Shoes was fun. I would go one more pallbearer. We just did that one.
What about Passerby?
I don't like the Passerby. I would probably one more pallbearer was.
Oh, that's where the guy's name was Paul. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, and they're in the and he went stupid at the end. That's another one. See, they tried something. That ending.
But isn't that good that they tried something?
Look, yeah, that's like that's the risk you take. You can not try and just be mediocre, or you can try and be great. But if you fail, you're even worse. So it's kind of like, do we try? Do we not? Because we could be great. But if we do try and we fail, we'll go even lower. That's how I look at it.
This is how I look at things. Everything above The Four of Us Are Dying, or at least trying something. Everything below The Four of Us Are Dying are not trying anything. They're trying to be my patients.
I think
and it's not working.
Trying your patience. I think they tried something here. I just don't think they tried anything with the ending. I think they tried stuff other places. Okay. I'm going to say, and I know this isn't definitive, but I'm going to say, I kind of want to go one more up, but I'm going to say 67.
Passerby? So
above Passerby.
Okay.
It'd be the new 67. I did not like Passerby.
If the highest I would ever go is right below Mr. Denton on Doomsday.
Where's that? 71?
72. 71.
I mean, that's back where I originally had kind of said, 73-ish. What was the lateness of the hour? Was that the robot one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was the first videotape episode.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I guess I could go below Big Tall Wish, maybe above Big Tall Wish, somewhere around there.
Big Tall Wish is honestly the one that's thrown me off. Big Tall Wish, once again, I've said this before. I appreciate that real world, what they were doing with that episode, but just as an episode, I didn't like it. It was just kind of like.
I mean, I think that's a lot of them in this kind of area. It's like it had a nugget of something awesome, but it just whatever it was.
The episode itself didn't. If you recall, Big Tall Wish, for me at least, what they were trying to do was socially at the time is have that episode that was, I think, wasn't everyone in it African American?
I'm trying to think.
Was that the one?
No, wasn't because some
he's
of the
boxer.
Yeah, right.
And all the actors were African American, and it was acted really well, but the story was just like, it was like, man, I wish you had given them a better story if you were going to have it, because in the 60s doing that was something that was like, I really I'm like, wow, that's really cool that you did that. It's very progressive and forward thinking, but man, you could have given them a better script, a better story to go with.
I mean, we're really not that far off between Passerby and Denton on Doomsday, really. I mean, you're only four up or down. I mean, can we compromise and put it in the middle of that? Like put it at 70?
I'm cool with that, because I was actually just looking at I Shot an Arrow into the Air, and I was like, I think I like that one more than this one.
So 71? New 71?
Yeah, 71. I'm sorry. Yeah, it'd be under 70. 71.
Nick, is that okay with you?
What number again? Sorry.
71? No, it's okay.
So above Denton.
Right above Denton.
Right below Shot. That's fine.
Yeah. Which one was Mr. Denton on Doomsday?
That's where he gets the go juice and the other guy gets the go juice, and it turns out it's all placebo.
The Western? Yeah.
It was like the third episode of the whole entire series.
That was one of the ones I rewatched, yeah. I mean, I rewatched them all, but I wasn't here for it. I wasn't on that episode. It's one of the ones I had to watch in the lead up.
That was pre Jacob's birth on the episode series.
I did not exist.
You only had to wait like 6 episodes.
It is still sad that we're not going to be able to have Nick say every week. And at number 87, 88, 89, 90,
I
piano
told you
in
what I wanted,
the house.
You guys had to be reasonable and take it up higher.
Well, whatever. We'll just have to do that with the trouble with Templeton.
Trouble with Templeton. I mean, in all honesty, talking about what you're talking about, this is better than the Trouble with Templeton. That was a god awful episode. Static. I don't know. Yeah, that was a bad one too. That's the one with the radio. The jungle was fucking bad too. Still Valley and the Fever. We can talk.
I don't remember Still Valley that well.
I don't either.
Still Valley was where everybody got frozen in time. What was the jungle? Like, what was, I forget.
Jungle was the one where he's walking around New York.
Oh, yeah.
Tigers.
Yeah.
The Still Valley, everybody's Still Valley, that's where everybody Confederate Army one.
Yeah, where everyone is frozen in time.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad
and the
episode.
4 of us are dying. If you get around in that 80 area, we could talk. You know what? You'd have a case. We could speak there. But nah. These bottom 3 or 4, they're fucking terrible. Like shit. Horse shit. I will never watch these again. Maybe we should do a live stream where we watch the most terrible episodes of the Twilight Zone.
I think we'd want to shoot really ourselves.
Scraping the barrel for content on Twilight Zone.
All right, that'll be season 4. We'll just make up episodes for season 4.
I'm looking forward to season 4.
No, you're not.
Because it's I say that now because they're so bad, and I don't remember that terrible of an episodes. And you guys,
there's like 2 episodes, and we're gonna be sitting here for like 3 hours talking about those episodes because they're so fucking long.
I've heard nothing but bad shit about these, and I know I've seen them, but I just don't remember. I mean, that's nothing new, but so I'm kind of looking forward to how bad are they really?
There's good and bad, just like every other season, but it's the length that will do you in.
A lot of bad.
Here and there.
Well, let's just say the Trouble with Templeton is not the worst episode of the series.
Watch it be that the lowest point still when we get through with season 4.
Yeah, like Trib will be like, Jezebel was not that bad.
I may very well. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
We're gonna rank the seasons at some point.
I think we should.
We'll do that eventually. We'll
rank the rankings of the other rankings that we didn't do.
We'll rank our lists.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And we can rank our episodes of
There
the
you go.
episodes.
So nothing before episode 11 will be valid, is what you're saying?
Well, plus the lonely, since he was on for that one.
Yeah, episode 8.
All right, let's go ahead and get out of here. So yes, new number 71 is a piano in the house. Number one is still
Bang! Where's the explosion?
Sorry, I wasn't on it.
You should be.
I always
New number 70? Is it 70? Yeah! Woo!
I need to fade that out.
All
It just kinda
right.
goes away. It's like
so with that said, oh my god, I'm
Just
killing
like-
myself right now as I'm trying to edit this. All right, so new number 71, a piano in the house. Number 1 is still, of course, The Eye of the Beholder. Number 87 is The Trouble with Templeton.
No.
The next episode,
The trouble with Templeton. No, you need to have the Mortal Kombat where he's pulling out his spine.
no, I got rid of that.
Damn it. Okay.
and so with that
Trouble
said,
with- Templeton.
shut up.
Remember how we were talking about those jokes that go on way too long?
So anyways, we got to get through one more episode before we get to probably one of the most famous episodes of the Twilight Zone. But that episode we're going to be talking about next is season 3, episode 23, the last rites of Jeff Myrtlebank.
What's the one
directed
after
by
that?
Montgomery.
That's so famous.
It's a certain man.
Never heard of it.
Nice.
Yeah. But it's directed and written by Montgomery Pittman, and it stars James Best, Shirley Jackson, Edgar Buchanan, Lance Fuller, and Dub Taylor. Don't really know much about it, but I'm sure it's not a very good episode. So
Wow, pessimist
Damn.
much.
You're going in with a very negative attitude, Nick.
Anyways,
Negativity begets negativity. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's we need a piano, and I need a piano in this place. I do.
Get some funky
pianist.
music, white boy.
Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna get some. We're gonna get some breaking two electric
Boogaloo.
Thank you.
Or
So,
balloon.
anyways, we're gonna head out. But before we do, Triv, Jacob, fun as always. But Triv, you're gonna go first this week because I feel like it, because you're mean to me all the time.
Man. Oh, suck it up, cupcake.
You have content in that
Suck
content.
it up, content.
Suck it up, content.
Well, if you want
Anyways,
to find yourself
yes.
a Dick's Insider card, you talk to Jacob. If you want to see some random, obscure, straight up bad movie reviews, definitely step over at my channel here on YouTube. I should hopefully be coming out with something here in the next week by the time this drops, ideally, but we'll kind of play that by ear. If not, it'll be shortly after. So yeah, stop by, say hi. Make sure to pick up your Dick's Insider card from Jacob or Nick.
Yes. And Jacob, since you have all the Dick's Insider cards because I gave them all to you, where can you find those at?
Wait. That was too slow. Wait a moment.
You could also go to Old Navy Dick's if you really wanted to.
Where'd it go? Oh no.
Just
You
avoid
can also
Tally
rent.
Packers.
You can also rent the movies Big Harry and Dick's. Didn't John Waters do a movie called Dick or something like that, or Pecker? Big and Harry Pecker.
Yeah.
It was just called Pecker.
Yeah. Well, there was a
Edward
movie
Furlong.
before on the Blockbuster board that said Big and Harry. So
Where the hell did it go?
I ate it. Oh God, that
I
sounds
don't even know what you're
terrible.
looking for.
You hate the
I'm just waiting for you to read off your shit.
Well, okay.
Give
I
the
guess
man a second. Give the man a second.
I don't know where it went.
What do you need?
I've lost it.
The Dick's Insider card?
Yeah. I
Hang
saved
on,
it.
I'll resend it.
No, I've got that one, but I
Oh.
saved it so I could use. Well, that just took the wind out of my sails.
Oh, shit.
You know what
Piece
you
of shit.
need. You know what you need is the Dick's Insider card
Yeah,
to re-blow your sails.
I'll next week. Oh shit, I'm gone.
So
I'm leaving.
The Dick's Insider card, does it have a birthday promotion? Dick the birthday boy
I
or
don't
Dick
think
the
so.
birthday girl?
Dickie,
Anyway,
Dick the birthday.
the penis mightier.
You can find me on YouTube at Retro Jake XY, where I talk about old ass fucking video games. And I recently, as the release of this video next week,
Was that your O face?
at the release of this video, the Friday after this, the last episode, part 5, the games, is coming out, as well as at the same time as that premiere at noon Central Time, the whole entire 50-minute long video that has all of them and a couple of other little differences from the individual videos. So go check all that out. Oh, it's about the Nintendo 64, part of a lot of people's childhoods. So go check that out. It took a long time to make. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks.
Yeah, if you want
Explosions.
Yeah, if you want some good pan-ins on Jacob and his video game collection, that's where you can find him. Shit. All right. So with that said, you can find all my content and piano music at Movie Emporium. That's where all my content. As of this posting, I think I did a video. I did a review of Strays and something else. I'm sure. I don't know. It's a lot. I've done a lot of stuff. I've been a lot of places. I've seen a lot of things, and
he's been everywhere, man. He's been everywhere.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah. But yeah, with that said, we're also on audio feeds like Anchor and SoundCloud and Audio Boom and Cups of Uranus and all that good stuff. Rate, subscribe, gets us views, gets us listens. But yeah, that'll do it. That'll get us out of here. The stupid ass episode, which is the piano in the house.
The house.
Yeah.
So without further ado, for myself, Triv, and Jacob, we'll see you guys next time in the Twilight Zone. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Anyway, Nick, you were gone. We were talking about a man in Canada who has built a suit to fight a grizzly bear.
Ooh, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean,
oh dear God, he's falling down the hill or mountain or whatever.
Oh, he's about to get hit by the truck.
Ouch. Ouch. Oh,
he's just beating the shit out of this guy.
Oh God.
It's like that. Oh my God, it's like a Looney Tunes sketch.
Yeah, but it's like real. He built
the truck.
Yeah, to fight a grizzly bear.
Oh God, people are dumb. Record button disappeared on me again.